Here's a subject I've mentioned briefly before. I think I mentioned it in relation to the entertainment industry, but now I'm going to go a little bit more broader with it, simply because I've had a couple of conversations recently about it. And this is about should we be fearing artificial intelligence, AI? Um, I'm going to be quite honest with you. I don't think there's particularly anything intelligent about AI. And I'm going to explain my theory about this. And I've been reading and watching things about it and putting some engineering nous to it. Yes, it's clever what it can do, but it has a set of instructions to do it. Um, you have to still instruct AI to do it. It doesn't actually have it. I know there are systems there that they're developing that try and build reasoning into itself, self-learning, self-teaching, as it were. I'm getting onto this in a minute, though. The example that is used at the present time is Tesla, the car, autonomous cars. Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. They are still applied engineering. It's applied information. It sees something, it has to make decisions. Yeah. It can only do one thing. It might do the one thing well, but it doesn't make it intelligent. It's following a set of guidelines that have been put in. So when your Tesla's going down the road, and they've had accidents because of this as well. Tesla's going down the road, a pedestrian walks out 50 meters in advance. Yeah. It will calculate braking distance and everything else, which is, yeah, it's quite straightforward. You can program most systems to do that. And then it will decide to swerve into another car to avoid hitting the pedestrian. And this is on film, it doing this. Yeah. Great. So it's done that. It saved a life. Given that Teslas have lost a couple of lives as well, or these autonomous cars have cost lives as well. But there's also been other issues that have come to light when they've been teaching. Some years ago, a Tesla car had an accident along a normal city street. And what they think actually happened, and I don't know if there's been an advancement of this, I haven't found it, is that it was where there was a lorry was going across a crossing, a crossroads, if you like, and the Tesla kept going. Now, a lot of the Tesla's teaching had been on open road motorways or dual carriageways. Yeah. And they think what happened is the Tesla saw the lorry, the shape of it, as an over gantry sign. So, not a problem, no threat, keep going, bang. Yeah. If you look at what some of the videos that are available, what Tesla sees when it's driving along and these other AI units as well, yeah, it's very strange sometimes. I'll see a horse and cart and get totally confused. What's going on there? They see they see it as a human that keeps disappearing and coming back again, or something like this. It's a peculiar thing for it. It still doesn't have the reasoning that we do. It still now has to be told this is something very, very different. Yep. This is unlearned experience. How are you going to learn it in 5 minutes? Us humans still have the capacity to learn something very, very quickly. Yep. For example, yeah, when we're doing a podcast, we suddenly reason, process. We're not plugged into the internet all the time. We use reasons, we use supposition, and we can find something. And then we can react to it. We don't suddenly shut down our whole systems because we find something that's a bit peculiar. We might stop and go with caution then. But yeah, what I'm saying is we had the capacity, we've still got a better capacity to learn and adapt to a situation than any AI that I know about. So I don't consider AI at the moment a particular threat, not a deliberate threat to us. I think that the problem with AI will eventually come when we have over reliance on it. Yeah. If you're driving a Tesla now, they tell you to still be awake behind the wheel. Yeah. Be alert. be ready to take over at any moment. Yeah. I think actually the whole system is, if the police see you still reading a book or something while you're driving your Tesla along, they will pull you over and have a word with you. I know there's cabs in America now that are totally driverless, and that does worry me. They're very clever, but they've actually got extreme safety systems built into them. Yeah. And they'll probably go to the most extreme safety thing, which sometimes is to stop dead until it's figured out what is actually happening. It won't make a judgment. It won't do an automatic risk assessment as such. Yeah. And this is how I see it at the moment. I've watched a few videos, okay, and yeah, it's not my absolute field of interest. And again, and I'm going to talk about, people think AI is ChatGPT. They get some information from work on it. Yeah. Get it from Google, get it from a book. Yeah. Okay, you can argue stuff on the internet is far more advanced or probably more up to date than a book, or should be. Depends who's put that information in online. A book that was written 20 years ago has had some research done and probably hasn't been manipulated since. Yeah. For a way of thinking. It depends on your application, what you're looking for. So you still have to apply your own critical thinking when using AI. So again, it's a useful tool. At that point, it's a useful tool. It's a quick search. Yeah. There is actually footage on a video of a teacher that is actually kicking a student out of class because they had to do a review on a document, and she's got a laptop out and she's done it on her laptop through AI. And the teacher says, "How have you done that so quickly?" She said, "I used AI." So you didn't use it? No. Then that was not the purpose of the exercise. The purpose of the exercise was her to still learn, not for the AI to tell her. Yeah. She has learned nothing about the subject. She's learned a few bullet points, possibly, that she can spout off. But he found her and he said, "Out my class." Okay. Yeah. You could say, okay, she's used the technology to make life easy. She still should have had the understanding. It depends again on context of the class, what it was. And again, it was the idea, I think, of her class was to her to write her own opinion about something and not what came up with an AI system. Yeah. In other words, somebody else's, and it could quite easily be somebody else's opinion that has gone into that, i.e. who fed the information into the AI, where they told them to look the AI to look for it. Yeah. It might do extensive searches, but even AI is now being told you can't look in this section here without copyright infringement, or you can't do this, or you can't do that. Yep. And with AI now going on, and obviously the past couple of weeks has been a big discussion across Europe about integrating and using AI agreements and censorship, which is important. Yeah. One country might not want some information being put into something, but it's a global thing now. AI is. And again, it's only as good as the information that's put into it, and it's as good as the information that you question it about. You ask a one sentence question on AI, and it will give you a precise answer to that. Okay, you can scan down, so you've got any more questions. You read a book, you might just happen to come across something else. Yeah. Now, the third and probably most worrying application of AI, and I've had this discussion already this morning, is military use of the military. A bit like a Tesla car. There's no reason why you can't put in a drone or even a major aircraft technology that can identify certain things. You could program in targets, precisely coordinates. I mean, we've been doing this for missiles for years, ICBMs, etc., for years. It's not. It's a bit cruder, probably. But you can have it so that a drone can go somewhere, land on it. And I don't know if this is already being used. Land on a tank, wait for the guy to come out and explode, do maximum damage. Yeah, take out an operative or take out the operative. So even if they see it sees the hatch open, flies down and does it. Now, that's all well and good. What about if it flies into the wrong hatch? Are you still going to have a human watching what these drones are doing, given that you're going to have multiple drones, probably hundreds, if not thousands of these drones going into a battle scenario, blowing a place to kingdom come? It's probably why they're not actually being used extensively as they could be. I know China have been showing some videos where they have been using them. Apparently China have been experimenting doing this. The footage that's come out. Again, that is a worrying thing. It's going to be very worrying for us civilians on the ground that we could be mistaken for anything. Yeah, you could have all sorts of setups or anything else. I don't think AI is actually used a lot, not directly with military purposes. It might be used if they're identifying targets. It could be this, it could be that, it could be this, it could be on the ground, it could be giving an operator some relevant details, which again is just applied information. It's been told to look for something. Somebody somewhere else is still pushing the button at the end of the day. Yeah. Overall, I think people are putting too much emphasis on AI. It worries me we're going to become so reliant on it for our daily lives that we're going to miss when it does make a mistake, be it in a domestic sense or through to military sense. And the ultimate mistake, and okay, I grew up with films from the 60s, 70s, and 80s and 90s on this, was that, it would decide that human beings are surplus to requirements or are too destructive or are not required, or are not to be trusted, reversing it the other way, not to trust it because it might be trying to destroy the AI. And there's already been examples, apparently, where AI have been trying to back itself up, which has been discredited. But it's a potential problem. So, Steve, my question to you is, should we now be concerned about AI, or am I oversimplifying everything? Over to you.
No point in being overly dependent on AI. AI actually is very old-fashioned. And I say very old-fashioned, I say in the way that AI works. AI it does the same as what we do, which is either left or right, yes or no, up or down. Only in AI's case, it's binary in so much as if true, this, if false, then this.
Yes.
If false, then this. When you go down that one, if true, this, if false, then this. And it's a little bit like a flowchart, a flowchart, right? If does this happen? No, then that has to be tested. If that, and it's very much a binary sort of thing. And AI, as long as it remains binary, it'll do calculations more quickly because it has this ability to come to these conclusions faster than what we as humans do. And of course, it doesn't tire. It doesn't tire and say, well, I'm tired of doing maths now.
Yeah.
It'll keep on going. And AI, as you said, as I said in a couple of podcasts ago when we were on about the same subject, that AI is only going to put out what's been put in, because it has to be programmed by somebody. I think the fun is going to start. Because up until now, AI has been binary.
Yeah.
I think and anybody who wants to drive in a driverless car, I mean, that's ridiculous. I get nervous sat at the side of a motorist. I drive, and I like to hold the steering wheel, and I like to make my own decisions. If I sit next to a motorist, and I think that he's not is taking his time too much to brake, I'll start putting my foot on the floor and saying,
Yeah.
brake, 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 you know, which is all right if you've got like a taxi driver.
Mm.
But if it's a family member and I'm always saying that, they'll say, Dad, shut
Yeah.
up, Dad,
Yeah.
Dad, you
Yeah.
know. And
Yeah.
I'm having to rely on the thoughts of another person.
Mm.
And what I consider to be an emergency moment, I can't see myself ever doing that,
Mm.
you know. But anyway, um, as I said, AI is very binary. If true, this. If false, then this.
Yeah. Oh.
The fun's going to start with AI is when um, quantum computing it takes a better hold because a quantum computer isn't binary. It does all sorts of wonderful things, and it'll take something out of context and put it in the context of somewhere else, and go and do something else, and then bring it all the way back to here again, which is something that our mind doesn't always do. I mean, we have thoughts, and we remember things and use our own personal experience to act in a certain way in present day,
Yeah.
you know. But AI of today doesn't do that. It's just two dimensional, you know. And I think its days are going to be like you said, Chat GTI or whatever it
That
is.
should be, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a huge. It's Google.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
Google on
it's worth
steroids.
like
Every
Google.
company's got one now.
Yeah.
Every company's got one now of their own, and you know, and it basically it's a search engine. It gives the results in the form of in the form of a paragraph of text.
Yeah. I mean,
You know, it shows you the references.
yeah.
It shows you the references.
I mean, for me, it's an intern. It's sometimes an intern that wants to please everyone. Yeah. It will give you so many different alternatives as well.
Well, you know, the thing is that if you during the elections, if you um, asked Google to chat GTP to say something nice about Donald Trump, it would be very hard pressed to do.
Yeah.
And if you used to say make a poem about Donald Trump, and they say,
Yeah.
well, we don't do these things,
Yeah.
and make a poem about Joe Biden and the way it goes, you know.
Yeah. I mean,
So once
that's
again, it's because it's been programmed by
yeah.
some physical person.
Yeah.
So it'll never overtake us as long as it's binary.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it has its biases that have been programmed in, like you say, the quantum or the more advanced things will, and it's coming. I mean, there's videos we've been around about 10 years now where they get bots chatting to each other. Now they put a human animation on them and proving it like this. Had an existential crisis.
Look,
Yeah.
they put the human animation on them.
Mm.
It isn't because of them.
No.
It's for our benefit.
Yeah.
There was recently there was one of these conventions,
Mm.
and they had the most realistic robot,
Mm.
and it was to make it look as human as possible.
Mm.
But why?
But
It doesn't need to look human. It doesn't need to. It's a robot.
yeah.
I mean, when I was growing up, robots was quite square and had a square head and robust arms and legs.
Mm.
You know, that's what a robot is. And then now they're trying to make them look cuter than what I am. You know.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. Ex Machina is a film. Star Trek had Data in it, and other humanoid.
But what I'm trying to get at is they're trying to put a human face on it.
Yeah.
It's because it needs it. It's because the manufacturers of it are needing it to try and win the support, so as not to spook humans.
Yeah.
They try and make them look as human as possible.
Yeah, we try and put things into our own form so we feel more comfortable around them.
It's why people dress up their pets.
Yeah.
You see a dog and they've got the pets dressed up.
Yeah.
And the people say, "Don't they look human?"
Yeah.
You know, and it's no, they don't.
Yeah, I feel sorry. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah. The joke is, yeah, what a wolf comes and joins man by the fire. What could possibly go wrong? And then the clown outfit on a little chariot, but on a yeah, a dash hound or whatever. But it's a it yes, I know, and it's an interesting thing. It's a and like I say, it's going to be reliance. I mean, I actually saw there's one short film where they actually had domestic help, which was in the form of a robot, attractive actress playing the part, but did it very well. You know, it's still a bit creepy the way she moved and everything else. Yeah, which even yeah, got a bit more advanced than that now. But yeah, made the mistake, put the put the turkey to be cooked to the baby's cot. And I won't say where the baby ended up. Yeah, and it yeah to me, I mean that okay, that's over egging it, but that's a highlight of an issue that could occur. With rely on it, whereas one would thought that a mother, even if she's in a bit of a bad state, would realise there would be something a bit wrong with that. Again, I'm using extremes to emphasise a point. Um, it is, and I still hold that nothing's a threat to us if I can go and pull the plug on it, yeah, push an off switch on it, um, even do a reset. Um, yeah, I mean, I like the computer. I like my computer. I talk to my computer in front of me sometimes. Steve will know that I've just had a problem with it. I did explain to it's that I wanted it like a naughty child to actually work or do something I needed it to do. Yeah, even to give it a tap on the top. And it probably wasn't the computer's fault. I think it was yeah, an application somewhere that's yeah. But it's a yeah, we try and humanize it. I mean, it's like there's a film some years ago about a guy falling for Siri or a type of Android or on his phone. Yeah, was falling from the phone. There's been comedies about this, but yeah, it's happening, and yeah, they're actually producing more and more these artificial relationships you can have with people 24 hours a day, which is quite frightening actually. People being able to have a relationship.
In the old days, it was just a blow up doll.
I really don't know. Yeah,
Yeah, well,
I imagine after blowing them up, you wouldn't have any puff to do anything else anyway. So yeah, so I viewed that. But yeah, um, yeah, yeah, it's a yeah, it's all a bit creepy on that score.
so,
I
yeah, so it's having a blow up doll.
yeah, I'm not going to go. Yeah, I started this part of the conversation. Yeah, but yeah, could go into other things with this. But yeah, it's a So overall, I mean, I'm going to sum it all up personally. I don't think AI is a big threat at the moment, unless there are military applications that we don't know about. Which again,
Once again, as long as it's in binary, there's
yeah,
nothing, there's nothing, nothing to worry about.